Happy Friday and welcome to the Weekender once again. I hope everybody out there is definitely healthy and safe. Hopefully, everybody is practicing their social distancing. As it looks like we're going to have some entertainment news. Eventually, we're going to open up some things here to the public. I just got an email from the Cabo Jazz Festival, which they have a wonderful lineup at the end of May. It looks like Boney James, Gerald Albright, Keiko Matsui, and many more are already booked for this event. So hopefully we'll get to see some concerts this year. Hopefully we'll get to go to some baseball games. And maybe at the end of the year we'll get to see the Warriors in the playoffs. So let's just jump right into the topic. We're going to kind of continue on from last week's topic where we talked about a second home versus an investment property. But today we're going to kind of dive into how to finance it or what to expect when you're financing it. Now, you can turn off your video right now if you're going to be paying all cash, because a lot of people sometimes when it comes to their second home or an investment property, they may have enough cash. So you can turn it off right now, but don't turn it off. Listen to what I got to say. Okay, so the first things that we want to look into is that the transaction, just from the start, it's going to require a little more time than if you were, doing a typical single family purchase, because it's a riskier transaction for a lender. The second thing that I want to point out when it comes to a rental versus a vacation home, it would be that typically you have to put down 15 to 25% as far as your down payment is concerned. That's even if you do have a super crazy credit score like 800 and you got a ton of cash, you still gonna have to put down a little more money. When it comes to a rental property, the lender might anticipate that you might be having some rental income, so that might ease the tension as far as being able to qualify if you're going to have some tenants, and they may take some of that income into consideration. So that may help when it comes to an investment property. When it comes to a second home, another thing that you might have, another point that you might want to look at is location. A second home versus a income property. A second home, the lender may you're a little too far to be considered. This a second home. Be hard for you to kind of keep up, and depending on the destination, it might be a little tougher. Versus an investment property, you can buy one of those anywhere as long as you're showing that there's going to be some tenants, there's going to be some rents being paid, and you have all the other criteria that match. And possibly the last point that I have to make is regarding taxes. Now, a lot of times I always tell people you might want to talk to your tax person, but I do know for a fact that when it comes to a second home, you would have pretty much the same deductions as your first home when it comes to the mortgage interest deductions and so forth. It would kind of pretty much be the same as your primary. They'll allow you to have two homes. But when it comes to an investment property, that's where it might get a little tricky, because one, you can deduct all the same mortgage deductions that you would typically have. Plus, in some cases you can deduct some expenses. But here's the kicker. You might have to report if you're making a profit on that. It might be some income that you might have to report too. So, like I always tell people, is when it comes to investing into an investment property, I always tell them talk to your tax person, because I'm not a tax person. And so I hope that this information has been helpful, and hopefully, like I said, everybody is practicing our social distancing. Hopefully we're going to be really moving here swiftly. Looks like things are looking up. Again, I thank everybody for tuning in. You can always reach me if you have any questions regarding that. If you want to buy an investment property, feel free to give me a call. You have my number, area code 510-220-7155, or you can always email me at sam@sgaddisonrealtor. Again, I thank you for tuning in, and everybody have a great weekend.